And then occasionally we're here to entertain, just like Dave Rubin, who is really, really funny. And how do you know?
He's hitting his stride as a comedian.
Things are really clicking on all cylinders. Here is AOC at I guess this is a
town hall.
She's having a town hall, and she's doing a little bit of like a classic New York voice, you know, like forget about it, you know, which, you know, some people may find charming or some people may find nefarious. But here's Dave Rubin, who
he chose to open his show with this.
He opens his show with it.
The cold open, the direct message.
Yeah,
from Dave.
Here it is.
The audience needs to see it.
The audience needs to see it. Like, well, baby. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, he should play my Fonzie impression next.
Before, Tim Pool said AOC has betrayed her constituents when he tweeted out this video. So just imagine what you think AOC might do and how that might be.
Yeah, she's betraying her constituents. Here we go. Oh boy, oh God. All right, pause it for a second. So apparently the more LaRoucheites came out and were protesting, and she did like a New York, and it almost sounds like on some level she's doing an imitation of like her grandmother or somebody. Yeah. Like there's a little bit of like, you can hear a little bit of like New York, Puerto Rican character in there, which of course is a massive betrayal of those people who voted for her,
in the face.
who specifically said, don't do any imitations of like maybe your grandmother or your aunt as a congressperson. That would be beyond the pale.
That turned her district red right there.
Yeah.
It's just they all left the Democratic Party.
I'm just remembering the Tea Party protests against Obamacare, and I'll just say if Democrats were like mocking those protesters, I think we'd be in a better position today than being afraid of them.
Well, I got news for you. I was. But yes, go ahead.
Listen, okay, it's the Rubin Report. I'm Dave Rubin. Hello. How are you? It's October 20th, 2022. I am Dave Rubin. This is the Rubin
God, wait a second. You got to pause, buddy, because I'm still laughing. I'm still laughing.
My eyes were closed, and wasn't that just AOC talking right there?
He thought it was so funny too. That was good stuff. That was good stuff. But wait a second, he'll explain why it's funny.
Right, listen, okay, it's the Rubin Report. I'm Dave Rubin. Hello. How are you? It's October 20th, 2022. I am Dave Rubin. This is the Rubin Report. We are live streaming on Rumble, YouTube, and Blaze TV. Subscribe if you have not. And that cold open there, that is AOC giving a little talk in her home district. And the protesters continue to show up. They don't like her very much. They think she's one of the key pieces leading us to this bizarro war in Ukraine. They've had it with cutting off kids' genitals. They don't like her general disposition.
Pause it for a second. Okay, so let's just be clear here. The bizarro war in Ukraine that we started by having Russia invade them.
That's the bizarre part, is it wasn't us that did the invasion.
It's pretty bizarro. And then cutting off kids' genitals.
Oh, he's leaning into that.
Oh, yeah, he's...
Full
Gotta get on that transphobia train, because he's running so hard from his audience, having found out that he and his husband had children with surrogate moms. But continue. Here we go. He's...
Given the situation.
She gave them exactly what they were. Hey there! Are you okay? Are you there? Her reign of terror is almost over. I'm telling you. She's got a chance to lose this election. She really does. We can get rid of these people. And what do I always tell you guys? The post-woke world, to get in it, it's not... We have to just map
Pause
what it would
for
look
one
like.
second. We should also say that, and I would encourage somebody to do this, because we're not going to do it. If you compile every prediction, electoral prediction, that Dave Rubin has made over the past like 6 years, you will find that he was convinced something was happening out there, and people are leaving the Democratic Party in droves. This was in the run-up to the 2018 election, which had record turnout in the century for Democrats in an off-year election. It is possible that AOC could lose her election in the sense that she's participating in an election. And
it's within the realm of possibilities, potentially.
The likelihood of Republican voters voting against her because of these LaRouche protesters, I would say, is pretty small.
Yeah.
But her reign of terror is almost over. And of course, but listen to what he wants to go back to.
Yeah, this is like his political utopia.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. Her reign of terror is almost over. I'm telling you, she's got a chance to lose this election. She really does. We can get rid of these people. And what do I always tell you guys? The post-woke world, to get it, it's not, we have to just map what it would look like to really be beyond all of these people and just say, turn the clock back 10 years ago and all feel good about America again and have some liberals, have some conservatives battle it out. But we're all like, okay, America's good. Let's roll.
Pause it.
And then
10 years ago was 2012. This was when there was an adamant insistence that the President of the United States was born in Kenya, was not an American, was a secret Muslim.
Mitt Romney's car elevator was at the top of the news cycle. He was saying that half the country is taking from society.
Republicans had retaken the House at least because reaction against Obamacare.
Right.
Mitt Romney not only said that half the country were takers, not makers, he also said that he'd be president by now if, when his grandfather lived in Mexico, his last name was Ramirez instead of Romney, which, of course, I think was a slight misunderstanding of the trajectory of, that his life took because his father was named Romney. Also, Dave Rubin would have found that he was not allowed to have the right to marry his husband, never mind have children together. But that's the place he wants to return to. Let's get back. Does he say more about like a post-woke world?
Yeah. You want to play?
Yeah.
Okay.
we'd be looking in the rearview mirror going, AOC you later. We don't want anything to do with you people. So today,
wait, go back a little bit here, because this, and you don't have to cut to me. Just stay. For some reason, he goes into his Bill Cosby impersonation here with the pudding in the. And I'm not sure why he did that.
You do the dance against the constituents and you betray your party.
Have some conservatives battle it out, but we're all like, okay, America's good, let's roll. And then we'd be looking in the rearview mirror going, AOC you later. We don't want anything to do with you people. So today, we're going to talk about that wide tent conservatism or libertarianism, the sort of stuff that I've been kind of pushing around here. And we're also going to talk about the last-ditch effort by the Dems to hang on to power, because all of the polls, every bit of sort of cultural norm right now is sort of trending towards the conservatives, the Republicans winning.
Every
Again,
sort
you know,
of
my feelings on the word
cultural
conservative,
norm.
I'm using it in a broad sense. But there's a lot of good momentum right now. We are going to dive into it using videotape. And before we get to any of that, let me talk to you about...
Wow.
Ad time now.
That's just like...
Cultural norm. All right, so let's go to what he visions. How Governor Ron DeSantis is going to take this country into a new place where, remember, this is the guy who just sent cops to arrest people who were confused about their ability to vote, who had been informed by state workers that they could vote. They voted. 2 years later, DeSantis sends out cops to arrest them. One of them, the first of the 20 that were arrested, has already been now, the judge just threw the case out saying this is ridiculous. Understand why DeSantis did this. It wasn't to arrest those 20 people. It was send a message to black and brown people that you could get arrested
I mean, it's,
Don't even try.
Again, using people's lives as propaganda objects, just like the migrants.
Just like the migrants. But here is Dave. Hopefully we can return to this new place where Ron DeSantis will shower us with his benevolence.
And Biden and all of this was just a distant memory. And we just had a sane, functioning president, say a Ron DeSantis, and a government that was scaled back a little bit. And if you wanted to smoke weed, you could. And if you didn't want to, you didn't have to. And if you wanted to marry a dude and you happened to be a dude, you could. And you weren't going to force other people to marry dudes. It can all work. It's what we had. It's what we had. It's what the promise of America is.
What is he looking back?
When was weed legal? He just said you could smoke weed if you wanted. You didn't have to smoke it if you didn't want. Are people compelling everyone to smoke weed? Because at this current juncture, it's still not legal on the federal level.
If you read the New York law about next year, February, there's going to be a compulsory smoking element where you have to smoke in order to get in public transportation or anything like that. And also you have to have gay sex.
It doesn't say you have to have sex. It says you have to marry a guy.
Oh, okay.
That's the only reason that he did it,
that was
by the way.
Version of
the only reason, this is how Dave can have an out with his audience. The only reason that he's married to a man is because he was compelled to by law.
I think
still
the
one of you.
leftists tricked me.
Too much first.
I got this flyer in the mail, and it said I had to marry my husband.
Too much forced gay marriage. You wanted to marry a dude, you didn't have to marry a dude. There you go. There's Dave Rubin for the day, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome.
He doesn't have really a very coherent train of thought.
Doesn't matter, though.
It really doesn't matter.
Just feels right.
Success.